Hello, welcome to Black Nouveau. This is our December edition. I'm Joanne Williams. In holiday seasons past, we visited Helen G's home to see her collection of holiday decorations. That made James and Sandra English realize they weren't the only ones passionate about their cultural heritage at Christmas time. So this year, we visit their home. Revitalize Milwaukee is working to rebuild local communities block by block. We'll tell you how you can apply and get some help. And Dr. Ramel Smith joins us to discuss how to shake those holiday blues. You know, recently I had the pleasure of hearing a groundbreaking group make some beautiful music at the Sharon Lynn Wilson Center for the Arts. The group is Sphinx Virtuosi, and it's the only all African American and Latino orchestra in the country. They bring their own brand of passion, enthusiasm, and dedication to the music. You like to perform?
I love performing. It's my favorite place to be on the stage.
I am still learning. I think it's a lifelong experience. We have to keep, improving ourselves every single day, every single hour. So master, I don't think I am yet. I don't think I ever will, but I'll ever be. But yeah, I'm working on it. We will be working on it our entire lives.
They bring an energy that has brought acclaim to this ensemble called Sphinx Virtuosi. The Sphinx organization is on a mission to bring the impressive talent of these diverse performers to American music lovers. In the 8 years you've been with Sphinx, what do you think you've learned?
Oh, there's a lot of things. I mean, first of all, just that there are so many great musicians of color. I guess not just where I come from, but everywhere you go to the symphony and you see a lot of Caucasian musicians or Asian musicians. And then you come here to Sphinx and you see not only are there Black and Latino musicians, but they're really good. The opportunities I've gotten to play at Carnegie Hall, I've gotten to play at the Kennedy Center, all because of Sphinx, and those have really contributed to my personal growth and career.
22-year-old Annelle Gregory from San Diego plays with the chamber group after winning the Sphinx competition.
I love it. I have always loved music since even before I was born. My family always played music, so to me that was just kind of a way of life. And when I started playing violin, it was really a way to express myself.
Did you start with violin or did you start with
I did not. I actually started on piano when I was 4, and I picked up violin when I was 8. I also played a variety of other instruments in middle school, high school, drum set, bass guitar, everything. But
Rainel Jobert is from Cuba. He's 31.
Well, Sphinx is a nationwide organization that really helps people of color and minorities in general, and Latinos, and I qualify for both, Black and Latino.
How old were you when you started playing the violin?
I was 6 years old. I started playing in Havana, in this little small conservatory called Manuel Saumel.
What interested you about the violin at 6 years old?
If you want me to be honest, I wasn't really interested in the violin. I wanted to be a percussionist. But I knew I had a passion for music, for rhythm, for melody, and I was good at this. My teachers saw the talent, and my mom too, and they supported me, and in a way they carried me towards finishing with the violin.
Sphinx Virtuosi is a collection of 18 string musicians who've played all over the country.
Oh, it's wonderful. The Sphinx has taken me to everywhere from Washington, D.C. We just played in Carnegie Hall a couple weeks ago with the ensemble. I was able to play in Houston. It's really just amazing to be able to travel around doing what you love and see all the different places on the way.
The group was started by violinist Aaron Dworkin, who was President Barack Obama's first appointee to the National Council on the Arts. Dworkin started the group in Detroit in 1997. This is the 20th anniversary. It's grown to include nationwide string competitions for young musicians and performances in places like the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C., and Carnegie Hall in New York, where they packed the house in their first performance. This rehearsal was at the Sharon Lynn Wilson Center in Brookfield, where they played in late October. The mission of Sphinx Virtuosi is to give Black and Latino string musicians the spotlight they deserve, but it's also to open the eyes of classical music fans who are used to seeing mostly white performers on stage.
When we're talking about Sphinx and what it represents, we are championing diversity and really bringing these Black and Latino string players and professional musicians to the forefront in a way that is creating dialogues, and it is challenging the status quo in the classical music industry.
Anel and Rinal are lovers of classical music, but when they put in their earbuds, they listen to other sounds too.
I like music from the 60s. I downloaded about 2 hours of Jefferson Airplane recently.
That's okay.
It's funny.
I listen to jazz, bluegrass, rap, of course. I listen to Cuban music, so anything that has strong rhythm to it, and beautiful melody too.
Sphinx Virtuosi is changing the color of classical music.
That's what Sphinx is. It's this force to be reckoned with.
The holiday season is a time for giving. And on the surface, it may seem full of fellowship with family and friends. But a recent survey by the American Psychological Association shows that 26% of the people feel sad and lonely during the holidays. Another 38% say the holidays increases their stress level. Our resident psychologist, Dr. Ramil Smith, is here to help us have a happy holiday season. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me once again.
So, first question off the bat. Who are these people that are lonely and sad over the holiday? Are they single people, or who makes up this population?
Great question. No, that can comprise of a lot of different people. What you have to remember is the holiday is built upon tradition. So when we talk about being sad and lonely, you could be in a house full of people, but yet still be lonely. But specifically when we think about the holidays and traditions, what do we remember? Those loved ones, those relationships. So if a person lost someone through a death or lost someone through divorce, those can be especially painful times, specifically if it's the first time going around. But then there are also those people who do not have the family and friends to be able to participate in those traditional holiday things, so it varies.
What are the signs of depression, and how can we tell if someone is depressed or not?
You know, that's a very difficult question because some people can mask their depression. So I can tell you some of those signs that seem pretty easy to look. A person is different acting than what they normally usually act. So this person used to be talkative, now they're very quiet. This person was outgoing, now they're very isolated. So you look at a person who's not sleeping well, a person who's not eating well, a person who's maybe a little bit more argumentative, a little bit more testy lately. But then you also have the people who smile in your face and they make you appear that everything is okay because you know what? They don't want you to know, so they give you the answer. So for those individuals, I say dig deeper. Instead of just saying, how are you? And they say, I'm fine. Dig deeper. Why are you fine? What makes you doing so well? Because then this begins to unpeel that onion, the layer, that mask that they have. And if they deem you to be real sincere, they can bring out a more concentrated response from them.
Like, do we need to change our expectations for like holidays and get-togethers, or are they supposed to be all happy and joyful?
Well, I mean, that's what specifically this time we say it's the most wonderful time of the year. It's a time, what you said, it's a time of giving. It's a time of family, fun, and tradition. But what I think we have to do is not to make it something that it's not. because we've always been a part of holidays where it's some great times and it's not so great times. So what we have to do is remember that. A lot of us have short memories, and we'll say the good old days, and we remember those holidays, but we only remember those great things attached, and we forget those things that were not so great. So what we tell people is to have realistic expectations around the holidays.
So I saw this survey that ranked the stress levels for a holiday up there with like talking to your boss for a raise.
Yeah.
So what gets us all up hot and bothered about the holidays in the first place?
Yeah. Well, what's the common denominator, what you said? A raise in the holidays. Because the holidays have been so commercialized and monetized, people feel an undue amount of pressure to go out and spend, to go out and make people happy. Because so many times we've equated our love with money and gifts. So sometimes people wanting to show their people how much they love them will sometimes go out and extend themselves. So sometimes we talk about depression during the holidays. Well, that stress level during the holidays turns into depression post-holidays when those bills come in. So what we're trying to tell people is to remember really what this time of the year is about. It's about giving, helping others. So when we think of something like Kwanzaa, it's those celebration times where it's not just about me, but it's about us. It's about community. And those are principles that you celebrate during this time, but really should go on throughout the course of the year.
Now, but there is like a positive stress and a negative stress. Can you talk about the differences?
Yes. So this is what you want to look at. When we look at stress, we always think of negative, but eustress is that positive stress. This is for a person who says, I'm a procrastinator, so I didn't go shopping until 3 days before Christmas, but you need that adrenaline rush. That's very good. But that eustress turns into distress, which is the bad stress, when you say, let me go shopping, but you find that everything you needed is now gone. Now it turns into the stresses. I'm not going to have a time to complete this. I'm not going to have a time to buy this. So when we start talking about how do we monitor those levels of stress, it's all about time efficiency. So making sure you leave yourself enough time and window for little bad things to happen so you can recover.
Well, how do you get to that healthy balance though? When you have relatives coming in from out of town and you're trying to balance all that stuff, how do you create this healthy balance? What do you do?
Plan, preparation, and flexibility. So what you want to do is plan and prepare as much as possible. How many people do I have coming in? How much food do I need? How much will I need to make sure that I can have a time? But then, one of the things I love about my Aunt Stella is we have this great big Christmas, and she always buys about 10 extra gifts. So if somebody else comes in, she has a gift to give to that person. The reason why she learned is because in the previous year, somebody would come and not have a gift. So you say, how do we learn that flexibility? Learning from the errors of the past or the mistakes of the past or situations from the past.
Now, they have this thing called seasonal affective disorder.
Sad.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about what that is?
Yes, seasonal affective disorder is a couple of things, because sometimes we compare it to, think about what just happened November 5th. It was daylight saving time. So we lost that hour and we got less daytime and whatnot like that. So we associate happiness with the sunlight. And so when the sunlight times go down, you get the hibernation kind of feel, you get the more eating, you get that, like I said, the hibernation feel, and that can put a person down into a stupor. But when we talk about it, the season is a specific time that what doesn't allow for as much camaraderie, does not allow for much time as far as touching spaces, maybe the summertime does.
So how do you get around that? Does exercise help?
Yes, definitely. So it's those things that we talk about: sleep, eating, exercise, and love. So just because you cannot go into outside to exercise like you did in the summer, we get more creative with our exercises that we can do indoor. And if we do have to be indoor, the exercises and the activities that we have within the home, but still making sure that because the time is different, we still stay on the sleep schedule, we still stay on the exercise schedule, and most importantly, we still regulate our diet, because sometimes when we get sad, when we get frustrated, or we have nothing to do, eating is one of those things that can soothe our nerves but may not have the best consequences in the end for us.
Real quick, now is stress different for children as well?
Well, stress is real for anybody else. It just manifests differently, but stress is stress. So if a child is stressed, we often say, oh, you're a child, you have nothing to be stressed about. But we also have to remember that that child has a smaller mind, a smaller brain, it's more limited capacity to understand. So what we might deem as not stressful could be extremely stressful for them.
Well, thanks a lot for joining us.
This year is our first Black Build. This is going to be the way we're going to do stuff going forward. We're going to do a lot more of these, and we're going to need all of your help going forward. We're super excited about what's going on today, and know that you're part of a bigger movement.
Revitalize Milwaukee has been helping low-income homeowners by giving free home repairs and comprehensive services since 2000. The organization has helped over 3,000 families in the Milwaukee area. Lene Katz-Pettit is the CEO of Revitalize Milwaukee. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
3,000 people. That's a
3,000.
lot.
Yes.
How many homes per year do you revitalize?
On average, about 340 homes. So it's about 27 homes a month that we do in the Milwaukee area.
When you say revitalize, does that mean painting, scraping, fixing railings, what?
It can encompass a lot of services. So we go anywhere from focus on safety and security is our number one. So it's grab bars, porch railings, porches, floors. We've put accessible bathrooms in, built many, many, many ramps. And in addition to basic safety around the home, so plumbing, electrical, a lot of safety and security issues that we look at as first and foremost. Certainly painting is also included in that, and also some scraping too.
The work is done by volunteers?
Majority of actually is done by individual contractors that we hire. So we employ about 17 individual contractors. They get paid on a weekly basis. Majority of them are from the inner city and are very familiar with our residents and then also our services. It's a great partnership, and it's one of our, I guess, hidden secrets that we're a small business employer as well. So we're always looking for new contractors. So let us know if there's anybody out there.
It was a great chance from a company perspective to get our company out and do some community service work, try to make a difference.
So we do physical improvement work in neighborhoods, and we've been working in the Lindsay Heights neighborhood and with Walnut Way where we are for the past 8 years. And a big part of that work is improving the conditions in the community and improving the quality of life for residents. So making physical improvements to homes helps stabilize the neighborhood, increase property values, and really build social connection between the neighbors and other community stakeholders.
Who gets the help? Who qualifies to be revitalized?
Sure. So we work majority with senior citizens. We also work with veterans, a very big population of ours, about 25%. And then we also have individuals with disabilities. So the individuals with disabilities and the veterans can be of any age. And we're focused, again, on keeping them safe and in their homes. And then 60 for us is what we consider a senior. And as honestly we get closer to that, I take offense, so I might have to move that age up to 70. So,
but these are people who've lived in their homes for a while.
They have, yeah. On average, our homeowner's been in there for 37 years. They've raised their family. They've been part of our community. And oftentimes, they're wanting to stay in there until the day they die. And so it's really important for us to be able to honor that wish. You know, when I first came to Milwaukee about 20 years ago, it was very important to me as I started to get to know the residents and how proud they were to be part of Milwaukee and the city. And then I look around and I go, okay, well, who built the city? And it was them. And I listened to their stories. I listened to the historical data that we were able to gander, and the people who built the streets and the buildings and the factories and are all the people that we're serving now. And it's a true honor to be able to give them and what I believe is very needed services for all that they've given to us, so that we can enjoy it now.
Tell me how people can get in touch with you, and how can they get more information about Revitalize Milwaukee?
There's a couple places. You can certainly call our office, and that's area code 414-312-7531. We can also be reached at our website, which is www.freehomerepairs.org. Then they can also reach out to their neighborhood groups, 211, Department of Aging. A variety of places have our number and contact information. Our applications are available online, and we'd be happy to be able to help the residents if they haven't heard from us, or if it's been a while since they've gotten services from us.
It's called Revitalize Milwaukee, and you're doing work that makes Milwaukee better for the people who helped build the city.
We are, and it's a true honor to be able to do this work. And honestly, every day I get to be in contact with the homeowners, I learn something new, and I probably get more out of it, and my team gets more out of it than the homeowners do, because it's a true pleasure. You know, when someone doesn't have water for 2 years, who is using a toilet that may be wrapped in blue tarp and doesn't have a way to properly go to the bathroom. It's heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking.
Well, thank you very much for talking to us about Revitalize Milwaukee.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It goes back to when I was growing up, black is beautiful.
I like to look at things that look like me.
Meet James and Sandra English, who love decorating their homes for Christmas, and even more so, collecting Christmas decorations that reflect their passion for blackness at Christmas time. I see the moving couple back there. I see the angel who's slightly moving. And then there's Dancing Santa, one of their most prized pieces.
The doll that you see hanging here, I think we got her in New Orleans. And we have a couple of Santa heads back here that I really like. And we've had those for quite a while.
This collecting of African American Christmas ornaments started as an adventure for educator James English. His wife became hooked and took it over. He has strong feelings on why he started his family's collection.
I wanted to have my house looking like the house that I grew up in Philadelphia. To see people like me of color in my house and not pieces that were just generic. I mean, I've been around the world in the Air Force, and I've seen houses and friends of mine, and they had no black Santas in their houses. So why should I have a white Santa in mine? So then when I saw these different Santas throughout my trips, I said, well, this will work. And it just so happened I had a wife that was very supportive.
When you're out and about and you see Christmas stuff, what don't you see?
I don't see a lot of African American stuff. I look through everything there just hoping that I would find just one piece. And usually I would find just one.
When we went to Indianapolis, Circle City Classic, went to the store in the mall, and she was just amazed at what was there.
We saw this one tree that was decorated with a lot of animals from Africa. I think we pretty much bought everything on the tree. So that was, I think, pretty much our first adventure in collecting a lot of this stuff.
So the adventure began, hunting to acquire culturally sensitive Christmas ornaments. But on returning home, there were few to none stores that featured their wares to African Americans. Thus, the traveling started.
It's taken us from state to state. We've gone to New Orleans, to Indianapolis, to Texas, to South Carolina, all over.
One of their hot spots for finding pieces have been the Big Easy, New Orleans.
They have, because of the diversity that goes with that city, just to name New Orleans. I mean, some of the best pieces that we've got were from New Orleans, or they were very helpful in ordering a piece if it was out of stock.
They've also gotten pieces from Jamaica.
Mostly we go around Thanksgiving time. A lot of people are putting out their Christmas stuff then, so we would see a lot of things that we like then, so we get them.
The internet has been a great aid for them and probably others who collect.
And as I went on to the internet over the years, it's just so much stuff out there that come Christmas time, they're all sold out on the internet, all the good pieces. So you have to wait till next year. So we're like always a year behind on certain pieces.
Suggestion for those who want to start collecting and putting together their own culturally sensitive Christmas home.
I would tell them that they have to, first of all, be ready to travel, because you're not going to find very much here.
Probably try to get on Facebook, Twitter, to give to I'm pretty sure there's someone out there that has groups for Christmas. Okay, where did you get this stuff? Let's go trade here. Flea markets.
Keeping the wife happy, they have scoured every nook and cranny to find more African American figurines. Have gotten to a point that
We have just too many, but there's never enough for her.
Join us for the next edition of Black Nouveau on January 4th, 9 p.m. here on Channel 10. Ramel Smith, Jermaine Reed, and Sean Roby will talk about their trip to Ghana, and will show you how music is being used to help Alzheimer's patients. You know, now it's not just TV anymore. We're also on the web and on Facebook. We post new material every week, so look for us at milwaukeepbs.org and like us on Facebook. But wait, there are more ways to connect with Black Nouveau. Call us and let us know what you like, what you don't like, and share any story ideas that you have. We want to hear from you. The number is 414-797-3760. That's 414-797-3760. And that's our program for this month. For Black Nouveau, I'm Joanne Williams. Thanks for watching.